morning. How are you? I'm Yvette Knatzer, and it's morning for me. Very, very early in the morning. It's like 6:30 something. But I wanted to make this video while some things were fresh on my mind. I wanted to say, or I want to encourage you that as you're seeking God, as you're seeking answers to whatever issues you have in your life, whatever challenges that you have, I want to encourage you that you are already on the road to seeing those answers manifested. You know, as we turn to God, first of all, God is literally, not figuratively, but literally inside our hearts if we're born again. He is as much inside of our hearts, in the center of our being, as He is in heaven. You know, a lot of times Christians will look up, look to God as if they're like looking toward heaven, and He is literally on the inside of us. And you know, the scripture that says, I think it's John 7. I'll put it in the description. It talks about rivers of living water flowing up out of us. Those rivers are God. And what He wants to do is, from the center of us, from our heart, flow outward and influence our thoughts, influence our, the state of our bodies, influence our lives, And I heard a man recently talk about, our brains, and, he sort of gave the impression that, the way your mind works is the way it is. And in other words, like personality, whatever limitations you have in your mind that's it, that's what you work with. But I am a testimony that God can change even the physical makeup of your mind, in the sense of how you think. I don't know if that's physical, maybe that's mental. This isn't a science video. Anyway, God can change the way you think and the way you respond to things. He can change even the negative ways of your personality, that may have been formed based on negative experiences in your life. But anyway, his video is to encourage you that as you're turning to God and as you're seeking, as you're listening to ministry, as you're reading the word, as you're praying, as you're doing all these things, kind of seeking, trying to find your answers, and maybe you feel frustrated and you're wondering, when am I going to change? When is this thing going to stop being an issue? When is it going to stop defeating me? And I just want to encourage you that you are already on the road to change. You're already moving toward it, even if you can't see it. You're making progress, There's so many things. The important truth about this is that you have turned to God. If you have turned to God, if you haven't turned to God, turn to Him, because He's got your answer. What I want to encourage you to do is not assume that you can't change, or assume that you're going to go your entire life with this challenge and never overcome it. Assume that at some point God is going to get it through your head that you have what He has said you have. You are who He has said you are. And assume. What I would like you to do is to assume that you are already changing, because you have turned to Him. When I started looking to God and started hearing His truths, and started to hear His voice, and He started to influence me, I didn't know it until much later, but I started to see myself creep toward greater freedom from fears and worries and the things that used to trip me up. What tripped me up last year doesn't trip me up this year. There are challenges in my life that tripped me up last year, and they're still tripping me this year. But I'm encouraged by the fact that there's change. Change is happening. I'm moving forward, I think what's important is to be encouraged by that, to recognize that it is God that is influencing my life. It is God who is doing something. I know I don't have to go slowly. I could put my whole faith in God and go for it and just jump out there in faith, believing that he has already done what I needed him to do. He's already answered. I've already got the authority. I'm already overcomer, but possibly in some areas of my life, I'm still having a challenge believing that, but I'm making progress, and that is what encourages me. In fact, the fact that I am encouraged by that is a testimony of how he has changed me, how he has helped me to be a more positive person. If you listen to my testimony video, you find that I talk about how that happened, how God changed, how all the negativity that was always in my mind. Now I look on the positive side of everything. Now I'm encouraged by it. Every little tiny bit I get from God, it blesses me, and I'm encouraged by it, and I'm aware of the strength, the mental strength to believe him. It's just, I believe I got it from him. But anyway, I didn't want to make this video long, and it is already 7 minutes. So be encouraged. You are making progress. It's not going to take to the end of your life. As you have turned to God, he's already active. He's already moving. Assume that he is, and just go for it. Thanks for watching.